In February 1945, the Pacific War reached its most brutal and tragic chapter in the heart of the Philippines. Manila, once hailed as the Pearl of the Orient, became a city of ashes. Japan's defenders turned its streets into killing grounds, leaving more than 100,000 civilians dead. This is the story of the Battle of Manila, which was a part of World War II. In October 1944, General Douglas MacArthur fulfilled his solemn promise to return to the Philippine Islands. After the fierce struggle on Leyte, his eyes turned toward Luzon and the long-awaited liberation of Manila. By early January 1945, the 6th U.S. Army landed at Lingayen Gulf, its soldiers surging ashore beneath heavy fire. Weeks later, the 8th Army struck from the south, closing in upon the city from both ends of the island. General Tomoyuki Yamashita, commanding nearly 270,000 Japanese troops, divided his forces with a grim resolve. He sought to use the island's mountains and valleys as traps, to bleed the Americans slowly and delay their inevitable advance. Yet within Manila itself, the Japanese Navy chose another path. They fortified every block, every building, every corner, and swore to defend the city to the death. There would be no retreat, no surrender, and for most, no survival. What followed was a month of unrelenting destruction. MacArthur had hoped to spare the city the horror of bombardment, to reclaim it intact. But the enemy's fanatical resistance left his commanders no choice. American artillery and tanks thundered through the city's heart as Japanese troops, cornered and desperate, turned their fury upon civilians, committing unspeakable atrocities of torture, rape, and murder. Each house became a fortress, every ruin a battleground. Infantrymen fought through the choking smoke and flame, using grenades, satchel charges, flamethrowers, and machine guns to root out resistance. The air trembled with explosions. Buildings fell like dominoes of stone and fire. At times, the heat and dust grew so thick that soldiers could scarcely breathe or see the next street ahead. Japanese defenders fought to the last man, from floor to floor, room to room. Hoping to save lives, the Americans broadcast a plea for surrender, asking only that civilians be released before the final assault. The plea was met with silence. On February 28, 1945, amidst the ruins of a once beautiful capital, General MacArthur stood before his people and proclaimed the restoration of the Philippine Commonwealth. "Your capital city," he declared, "cruelly punished though it be, has regained its rightful place, a citadel of democracy in the East." Even as fighting continued in the city's smoldering quarters, investigators began gathering testimony and evidence of the atrocities committed during those terrible weeks. By March, resistance had finally been crushed. More than 1,000 Americans, 16,000 Japanese, and over 100,000 Filipinos lay dead. For many American commanders, the charred ruins of Manila offered a grim warning of what awaited them should they one day have to storm the cities of Japan itself.